Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to our summer campaign of Arkham Horror, the card game, where we've been playing through the Circle and Done campaign. In this video, we're going to wrap the campaign where, similar to the outro to Dream Eaters, I'll talk about the campaign, how the decks performed, and what I would have done differently with each investigator. First up, the campaign itself. I really like the theme of this campaign, but it's a very brutal campaign. Unfortunately, I hit my house rule on trauma, where if my investigators get too busted up on trauma, I either bring new investigators in, or in this case, I wrap the campaign up. Agnes ended up with 4 total trauma on her, 3 physical and 1 mental, whereas Carolyn had 2 mental trauma on her. My house rule triggers at 3 trauma where I start watching for it, but it's the next trauma where I make the decision, and in this case, I decided that the trauma was too much to continue the campaign. The new investigators I was going to bring in were just as busted up, since I was planning to bring in a new pair of investigators fresh from my off-camera Return to the Dunwich Legacy campaign. Especially after watching the last 2 scenarios go completely sideways, it was time to wrap the campaign. Like with Dream Eaters, I plan to come back to this campaign, but I don't know when or with who yet. On that note, let's go spend some time with our investigators, and we'll start with Agnes. Hello, Agnes. I had a slightly different upgrade path in mind with your deck when the campaign started, but when I saw how badly your basic weakness, Dread Curse, messed up the bag, I had to spend my first upgrade to try to counter that. Unfortunately, the counter never worked out. Otherwise, I was very happy with how your deck performed. I do think you might need a little more healing, since you tend to do a lot of damage to yourself. To say nothing of what happens when the encounter deck decides to put the screws to you. That's for the next campaign, though. For now, let's go pay your partner, Carolyn, a visit. Hello, Carolyn. Unfortunately, this campaign ran into the same problem that bedeviled the Dreamers in the spring. One investigator is fighting way out of her weight in the role she was designed for. Not being able to defend yourself was also a problem. Your deck building doesn't help you with that, and a very light splash into Mystic and Seeker doesn't give you much access to the most powerful cards we'd need for either defending yourself or deep clue gathering. I did start to take steps toward letting Carolyn defend herself, but I should have built her with some self-defense from the word go. Your character weakness did pop up a few times. We were largely able to deal with it when it popped up, but it made our lives more annoying in an already brutal campaign. This build was also largely the 0 experience build I used with my group when we went through Innsmouth, so it also might have needed more tuning for a 2 investigator campaign. Anyway, that will do it for Carolyn. Now let's move back up top to wrap this video up. And that will wrap up the summer campaign. There was more in the campaign, but with the ladies too busted up, we pulled the plug on the summer campaign. Next video, we'll introduce one of the bigger games to the channel. We're going to play Arkham Horror 2nd Edition. On this campaign, if you have any suggestions for changing these builds for the future, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.